I'm of the mindset that music can either make or break a scene in media. Whether the timing of the song is off, the tone of the music doesn't match the scene in question, or even if the song overshadows the scene itself. It takes a master composer to be able to make a song fit so well into a scene to where it doesn't overshadow the dialogue or the drama, but also to make it to where if that song was not incorporated, the scene would be worse without it. One of the best composers currently working on anime who understands this concept is the great Hiroyuki Samano, composer of Attack on Titan's soundtrack. I will probably discuss many of his songs on this channel, but I figured that my first dive into his work should be with one of my favorite songs that he has ever composed, probably his magnum opus, You See Big Girl T.T. Yes, I know. What the heck kind of name is that? And to be honest, I don't get it either. It's like he just sent the songs out to the anime studio without changing the temporary file name. But names aside, this song is truly a masterpiece in tension and sheer epicness. And I could spend this entire video discussing the many leitmotifs, musical language, and various other examples of composer flexing, but no. I don't really want to talk about that too much. I mean, I could, but we'd be here all day. What I mainly want to focus on in this video is how You See Big Girl TT elevates an already amazing, fantastic, and great scene to god-tier status in drama, animation, and storyboarding. Hi, I'm Riverdude, and welcome to OST Playback, where we go into a deep dive behind some of the most iconic music in all of anime. We'll explore the musical language, lyrics, phrasing, and whatever else I can think of to stretch this video out to 20 minutes. So, sit back, relax, and let's rewind into the power of Reiner and Bertolt's betrayal in music. Before we fully discuss the scene in question, I feel a bit of a build-up and summary is necessary symbolism, foreshadowing, and all that good stuff that makes a reviewer like me clean that up. The scene we'll be focusing on comes from Attack on Titan Season 2, Episode 6, titled Warrior. And it's the scene where Reiner and Bertolt, two close comrades to our protagonist, to learn the location of the founding Titan. Now, since most of you watching have seen Attack on Titan, I'm sure you understand just how significant this scene was for not only this episode or this season, but for the entire story of Attack on Titan itself. This scene was what changed this dark story about fighting the scary Titans into a story about betrayal, corruption, politics, friends, and power. This scene right here is not only my favorite scene in Attack on Titan, but in all of anime. I'm serious. I love this scene with a passion. The raw emotion of this scene just gets me every time. Seeing the pain in Reiner, Bertolt, and Eren's eyes as they all realize that at this moment, they will forever be enemies and no longer allies. It's powerful. Not to mention the gorgeous animation that Wit Studio put into the scene, which helps make it to where the viewer never stops looking at their screen. This scene is absolutely perfect. There's nothing I could change about it. It's perfection. But how can you make something that's already perfect even better? You play this song during this scene. After the wind blows across the wall, breaking a flag, the entire Survey Corps grows nervously silent. They suspect Reiner and Bertolt are traitors, but they are not certain yet. So they stand and watch, waiting for the next move. Bells start to chime in the air as an electronic beat starts to accompany it. The steady yet frantic melody makes sure to never overshadow Reiner, as he starts to speak some of his most important words in the series. そうか。きっと
こに長く居すぎてしまったんだな。こんな奴らがいるなんて知らずにいれば、俺はこんな半端なクソ野郎にならずに済んだのに。
Yet they set the almost nervous, yet confident tone to best encapsulate Reiner's feelings in this moment. Reiner knows there's no turning back now. It's time to remove the charade he has been hiding under for almost 5 years. As Reiner removes his bandages, he starts to use the healing powers of the Titan. And as this happens, the main leitmotif of the first half of the song starts to play.
もう俺には何が正しいことなのかわからん。戦士として最後まで責任を果たすことだ。
The melody starts with only the strings right now, because the action has not started yet. But it implies that something serious is happening. The melody coming in as soon as the Titan abilities start to activate is just timed perfectly, showing to the viewer not only visually, but auditorily that shit is about to go down.
ライダー、やるんだな。今ここで。勝負は今ここで決める。
Bertolt nervously asks Reiner, "Are we doing this? Right here, right now?" Realizing the gravity of what Reiner has done. Without a doubt in his mind, Reiner approaches his target, ready to attack. However... Suddenly the choir bursts in as Mikasa lunges forwards toward Reiner and Bertolt, slashing their bodies with her sword. The attack has started. The fighting has begun. As Mikasa goes for the kill, she yells for Eren to get away, only for Reiner to push her off the wall. The strings in the choir grows as a spark of yellow lightning starts to encase Reiner and Bertolt. The sure gravity of what's about to occur is shown with the horrified look on Eren's face. But suddenly, the music changes from a singing choir to one singular female voice. We have now entered into the second part of UC Big Girl TT, which is actually a more epic version of a song we've already heard in last season's OST, Vogel im Käfig, translated to Bird in the Cage. If we listened to the full song of UC Big Girl TT, this would have been even more obvious due to the fact that it's literally the exact same song, just orchestrated a tad bit differently. Sawano actually does this a lot in his music, where he reuses or inserts leitmotifs or even full recreations of songs he's already used in the same OST. Is this lazy? Well, it's not that simple. Leitmotifs are best utilized to convey or remind a listener of when they first heard that melody. Usually, these are used whenever the hero is about to beat the bad guy, and when that theme comes on, you know the hero is going to win. Or it's the villain's leitmotif, and when it's heard, you're reminded of the danger that is the villain. But in this instance, we are reminded not of the villains, but of our heroes. You see, the first time that Vogel im Käfig is fully heard is when Eren first transforms into his Titan form. But wait a minute, if this is Eren's Titan theme, then why is it playing during Reiner and Bertolt's Titan transformation? Doesn't that contrast their ideologies and thoughts? But here's the thing, it doesn't. To better understand my point, let us look at the lyrics of both Vogel im Käfig and UC Big Girl TT. Firstly, let us look at the beginning portion of Vogel im Käfig, because it has lyrics that are only for it, until eventually both songs start to share the same lyrics. Now, these lyrics are in German, and my German is extremely rusty, bad, and often terrible to listen to. So thank you to my girlfriend Julia for actually doing the pronunciation for these lyrics. Thank you, honey. I love you. Now, Vogel im Käfig starts.
Der innere Reichtum der Leute ist wie lichtbunt, durch Farbglas hereinzuscheinen. Das angenehme tägliche Leben ist wie ein warmes Kerzenlicht. Die sehr weite grüne Erde, das reiche, schöne Wasser, die grandiose Natur sorgt immer noch für ihre Kinder. Hoffentlich können wir es irgendwann verstehen. Wir gehen zur anderen Seite des Horizontes. Hoffentlich können wir es irgendwann verstehen. Wir gehen festen Schrittes.
Translated to English, it reads, "The inner fortune of people is like colorful light which shines through colored glass. This pleasant everyday life is like a warm candlelight. The very vast green plains, the rich beautiful water, grand nature is still providing for its children. Hopefully we will be able to understand it someday. We are walking to the other side of the horizon. Hopefully we will be able to understand it someday. We are walking firmly." Because this portion of the song plays exclusively for Eren, these lyrics pertain to him and his ideals. Eren, along with all the Eldians inside the walls, do not understand a lot about the world in which they live in. The lyrics convey that almost childlike view of the world, as if written by Armin or Eren before the attack of Wall Maria. The lines, "We are walking to the other side of the horizon," and "We are walking firmly," both show how Eren is determined to see the future and to discover the truth about his world, a key trait of his character. But not just Eren. Every member of the Survey Corps fits into these lyrics as well. Every one of them is searching for answers, whether it be for the secrets of the Titans or why they were even there. Everyone is searching for the answers. All but 3 of them. You see, Reiner, Bertolt, and Annie don't have that goal to understand the world because they already understand it. They know who built the walls, what the Titans are, and why Paradis came to be, because they aren't from here. They're from Marley. So it makes sense as to why this portion of the song doesn't play when Reiner and Bertolt transform, because it doesn't pertain to them. But where this analysis gets juicy is when we look at the part that plays for both Jussi Big Girl Titi and Vogel im Käfig. It reads,
Alles Lebendige stirbt eines Tages. Ob wir zum Sterben bereit sind oder nicht, der Tag kommt sicher. Ist das der Engel, der vom dämmernden Himmel herunterflog? Ist das der Teufel, der aus der Felsenspalte herauskroch? Tränen, Ärger, Mitleid, Grausamkeit, Frieden, Chaos, Glaube, Verrat. Wir werden gegen unser Schicksal ankämpfen. Wir dürfen uns nicht in unser Schicksal ergeben.
Translated to English, it reads, "Every living being dies someday, whether we are ready to die or not. That day will surely come. Is that the angel who flew down from the twilight sky? Is that the devil who crawled out of the crevice? Tears, anger, compassion, cruelty, peace, chaos, faith, betrayal. We will fight against our fate. We must not give into our fate." The beauty of these lyrics is that they can be interpreted in either the views and mindset of Eren or of Reiner. A major part of Attack on Titan's deeper narrative is the similarities and comparison between Eren and Reiner. Both were hot-headed children who wanted to defeat their enemies over the wall and to save the world, and they pursued that goal to the ends of the earth. Reiner believed that the devils of Paradis needed to be killed, and they weren't even human. And Eren wanting to wipe out all the Titans and eventually destroy his enemies across the ocean. However, the major difference between them is that one realized what he was doing was wrong and suffered for it. And the other never doubted himself and kept moving forward, never questioning his actions. Keep moving forward is a common phrase for both Reiner and Eren. They push on no matter how hard it gets, and that is where the lines, "We will fight against our fate. We must not give into our fate," rings true for both of them. They are warriors. They must not give up to their fate, whether it is to die or to live. They will attack the armor of life and play by their own rules, making their own fate. Every living being dies someday, Whether we are ready or not, that day will surely come. As the soft vocals of Jimmy ring through the blistering lightning and wind, it erupts into a thunderous roar. The chorus shouts,
Mit Trauer und Entscheidung im Herzen zeigen wir den Willen weiterzugehen. Niemand darf eigensinnig seines Lebens beraubt werden.
Translated to English, it reads, With sorrow and confidence in our hearts, we show the will to move on. No one may willfully be deprived of their life. Betraying your close friends and comrades, or becoming the devil to an entire nation, Raina and Eren feel the true sorrow of their actions, knowing they have hurt and killed thousands of people. But they are both confident that their actions are for the betterment of humanity. Or maybe they don't. Who can say? No matter any doubt they have, they show the will to move on, making sure that no one's life will be taken deliberately by someone else. And yet, they have taken so many lives in that process to freedom. Is that not hypocritical of them? Like many of the most impactful people in history, they fought for what they believed to be the right thing. But eventually, they stopped realizing how much destruction they caused because of their pursuit to that goal. Now, before I end this video, I want to do one of my favorite things when it comes to figuring out what emotion the song we're listening to wants us to actually feel. And that, of course, is by checking the key of the song. Now, this song is obviously a minor song, so automatically that pretty much means that we aren't supposed to feel super happy about this. Double-checking all the notes in the song shows that there are 3 flats altogether, which usually conveys an E-flat major scale, so transfer that to the relative minor, and that gives us the key of C minor. Now, how should we feel about a C minor piece? Or better yet, what feeling was Sawano trying to express by writing the song in this key? Well, to answer that, I want to look at the Austrian composer and pianist Ernst Pauer's book, The Elements of the Beautiful in Music, where he details the meanings and emotions of every key in music. It's honestly a really good read, so I'll link a PDF copy to the book below. And on page 25, he states, C minor is expressive of softness, longing, and sadness, also of earnestness and a passionate intensity. I'm sure you can already see why this key fits so well for Raina and Eren, but to further explain, both Raina and Eren fight with an inner sadness because of their actions. You see it many times, especially with Raina, where the gravity of what they have done haunts them. But that passionate intensity fits just as well, because they fought on for their beliefs. There could be no better key to portray these two characters. Cause remember the lines from You See Big Girl TT, with sorrow and confidence in our hearts, we show the will to move on. No one may willfully be deprived of their life. The comparison of these lyrics pertaining to both Eren and Raina are just a subtext of a larger piece that is You See Big Girl TT, using a composition style to convey the overall dread, fear, build-up, and epicness that is shown in this one scene. The song elevates the scene phenomenally, and without it, I feel this scene would not have resonated with not only myself, but the general audience watching nearly as well. The song is both beautiful, surreal, existential, but most importantly, it is powerful. And what more could you want for a Titan transformation? Thanks for watching. Eren versus Reiner? No, it's more like Eren and Reiner. Both committed genocide on thousands of people, leaving hundreds dead and many more scarred for life. Did you think this video was about Reiner and Bertholdt? What a fucking loser! Go back to chopping down trees and being thirsted over by Tumblr, Beadpole! That boys is where it's fucking